Gentlemen No Class is proud to be a part of the HC Universal Network. Gentlemen No Class is produced and recorded at M5 Studios and is mixed and edited by Final Curtain Media.
This podcast contains explicit language and is intended for adult audiences. The views and opinions of Gentlemen No Class are strictly for comedic purposes and should not be taken literally. For instance, like this disclaimer. Now grab yourself a pint and enjoy.
Welcome to another episode of Gentlemen No Class, a podcast. And when the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. I'm Jake.
I'm Raph. Paul.
Rob.
And like it or not, gentle ladies and gentlemen, we are the hosts. And good to be back with these guys here.
Yes, sir. Yes,
episode.
sir.
Yeah.
I brought some beers, some Houston-owned Eighth Wonder. Was it Eighth Wonder or Eighth Wondery?
It's Eighth Wonder.
Eighth Wonder, there you go.
Winder?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I forgot. I've been listening to a podcast that's on the Wondery network. That's why I'm like, Eighth Wonder, Eighth Wonder.
Oh,
that's why.
good for you.
Yeah.
So which brew you got going on? What do you
I got a
drinking?
little Hopston, which it's very nice and hoppy.
Yeah.
It's an IPA.
Paul and I are drinking the always classic Dome Foam.
It doesn't taste too creamy.
Well,
That's not how it's not supposed to. The
Fucking
name is a little
loser.
misleading.
Very much.
I do want to make...
The other one that they have that's really good that Brian really likes is the Brewston.
Brewston's really good, but it's really strong.
Yeah, he likes that one a lot.
Yeah.
Fucking space train at Eureka Heights is amazing.
Oh yeah, you were drinking the shit out of that.
Yes,
weren't
it
you?
was.
Space Train is
That
really
shit
good.
was great. That's
We
a
need
good
to do
name.
something else out there. So
Yeah.
what's our next event we got coming up? Oh, the 28th. We got the art show out there in Humble at Ingenious Brewing. We got we're gonna drum up some content for that. Hopefully,
Choke a few people, you know.
I think we should do contact them and see if we could do like a beer episode review, like while we're out there, like just do a 30-minute like. Hey, let's talk about see if they'll, comp us a couple of like
Hey, that'd be nice.
sample flights of
I like where you're
beers.
going with this.
You just
And
want
then-
free fucking beer.
And then have
That's how
a
it
couple of
works.
the artists come sit down and interview and drink one or two of the beers with us and tell us what they think about them. Kind of give us something to talk about.
Pretend to enjoy
Right,
it.
yeah.
when,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That'd be
that's a
kind of
good
cool.
idea. That's a
Yeah,
good idea.
that's cool. I love fooling people.
Josh Mueller wants to get something together to do some brewery reviews and beer drinking and stuff like that.
Oh,
So,
very
Josh, eh?
Yeah.
Joshy.
Josh, a little bass face
part
there,
of
Josh.
part of our street team network. So
No, that'd be good. That'd be good. We had to set something up, but yeah, the 28th at Ingenious in Humble.
yep.
It's gonna be fun.
We'll put some more stuff up on the Facebook page and stuff so people that have the address. Even though the guy whose wife is the manager of that place who's putting on this event got the address wrong on the fucking flyer, and his wife is the fucking manager.
That,
Boom, 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 boom.
that shit happens.
We need to work on that soundboard.
We're gonna get the.
Fuck
I'm
that.
tired of doing the sound.
It was your
Yeah.
idea
No,
to bring
it wasn't.
fucking Marcelo
No.
in here with the
That was-
goddamn slide
Well,
whistle.
that was an experiment. It just didn't go well. That's
Yeah.
it. You got to try it. We tried it. I'm not knocking it because I didn't try it. I'm knocking it because we tried it.
Yeah,
I didn't like it. It just seemed lazy. I mean, it's funny.
It seemed
It's just
lazy?
cheap.
I like.
It
the
was
soundboard.
cheap laughs.
I think you're
It was
outvoted
cheap.
here.
I think, yeah, I mean, come on, like a
Well,
good
know
round
this.
a good round of applause or a Wilhelm scream every once in
No,
a
that's
while.
fucking stupid.
Or a
That's
fucking bum, 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 bum.
no. If anything, we make our own shit.
Yeah,
I still don't want to do it.
I think I'm on board with
but
Paul
if we're
there.
gonna do it, we make our own sound effects.
All right,
Be original.
That's fine.
I'll meet you halfway there.
All right.
But then again, I still don't want to do it.
Okay. Well,
Okay, well, I
So-
don't really care what you want to do. I'm telling you what's
think
going
about it, man. You can press
Yeah,
a button
I
and
don't
be
give
a
a fuck
crowd
what
of
you say,
boos
too.
going on. Like
Yeah,
right now, I'll be booing you right now.
I'm on board. With
Yeah,
I'm on board
homemade
with that.
ones. You know, like think of it like if we made it.
That's fine. I'm okay
You know,
with doing
But
that.
not everybody wants to
But
hear
I
your
want-
voice, Paul.
But I don't want to hear the same fucking typical
Well, no,
like.
we can
Oh,
record
no,
it.
Cliche
I wanna-
and, like-
come on, we got to have a couple of like a Wilhelm scream in there. Dude. Come
That's
on.
played out.
Then
I
we
just
can
need-
also
or
record
maybe
them
no.
out.
How about you imitate it? I'm down with that.
You can't imitate a Wilhelm scream.
That's what makes it fucking funny because it's terrible.
Hey, let's throw this decision to the crowd here. If you
Fuck
guys
the crowd.
think that,
There's a
The
crowd.
crowd.
if you guys
That's our
think,
fans, you dick.
I thought he meant
if you guys think,
literally physically in front of us.
if you
There
guys think
isn't
that
a
it would be
crowd.
good to have a soundboard with some sound effects, leave a comment and just piss off Paul and be on board with us.
You know, I was on the way over here. I was like, oh man. When Paul I was gonna try to do the intro whenever he was. I was hoping he was gonna like lag behind, and I was gonna jump in for him and be like, yeah, Paul. But he was right on top of it tonight.
Yeah, dang it.
Nice try.
Just redo.
What does that fucking mean? What do you mean I'm on top of it?
Sometimes you're like, oh, fucking Paul.
Fucking
That's
slagging
true.
ass. I do that.
Well, we have a good episode
You said
today.
you do.
We're joining the paranormal front on this episode.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one.
Please stick around for that.
Says you.
Yeah, we got it's Halloween's coming up, so you know we wanted to do something, you know,
Scary.
paranormal. We want to get back to our aliens and paranormal stuff. I mean, that's
We? Fuck we. All right, yeah. But
it's not what you want it to do, Paul.
Yeah.
What
I
do
know.
you
What do Paul
about?
want?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Let's call it
How about gentlemen no Paul?
Yeah.
How about that? Let's name it that.
frees up my weekends finally. Yeah.
Gentlemen, no Paul.
Oh,
Damn.
God damn, that's funny.
Damn.
Don't ever ask me that again.
Don't ever say that again. That hurt my
Yeah.
feelings.
So what do we got on the current events?
What's going on with current
Yeah,
events?
Raph, hurry the fuck up.
Hey, fuck off. All right.
Yeah.
Shit.
You know, Raph, the dick does look good in your mouth, though.
What?
That's right.
Okay.
correct.
Wait, hold up. Did you just come out? Did you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's a legitimate question, Paul. Did you just come out?
Come out.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
is it, man? No, never.
Current events. Never mind. Just harp on that for a little bit.
Shit, for current events, pretty much, I just stuck to entertainment. Curb Your Enthusiasm's coming out, or they're in production for season 10. I thought that was interesting because I know fucking Paul likes it, or
Yeah.
Paul likes the show.
I
so
started getting into it, yeah.
I don't know if y'all guys are any
Well,
fans. of
fucking
that
lady-
show.
My coworker's telling me to get into it. If you like the Seinfeld comedy, if you like the, like, I guess it's like little dry humor,
Yeah, big time.
but it's fantastic. He says.
Yeah.
So HBO is going to be on. Is gonna be
Yeah,
picked
it's
up?
still on HBO.
Okay, cool.
It's still on HBO, so I just thought, yeah,
that
that's
theme song is just fucking hilarious, man.
the
Hey, yeah, dun, 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 dun.
There's a new show I really want to watch, and I think I need to get into like watching a new show like Curb Your Enthusiasm right up my
No,
alley.
you just do what we do. We just started rewatching Game of Thrones.
Man, I know.
Fuck everything else.
Nice.
Tough.
Nice.
I know it's tough. We're on like a 2-year dry spell
I
here.
know.
It's like
I
you
got.
need a-
I was like, you know what? I got some time. Like, we could probably run through this before it comes. We finished season 1 last night.
so good,
Damn.
man.
I mean,
I think I'm about to do that now.
yeah, it's good. It's
You haven't
really
seen
good.
any of it,
Nope.
Paul? What about you,
Dude,
Raph?
you should
Yeah,
start.
I told you
Paul.
about
I
the
know
show.
you told me about it, but I know
Yeah.
you stopped. You finished watching it?
Yeah, I did stop.
Paul,
like,
you would really
season
like it.
3, but
Yeah,
then I
no,
picked it up
just
again.
haven't
Yeah,
done
I'm
it.
caught up.
I'm
caught up.
It's great, man. Yeah.
Too
So-
much fucking
Got
TV.
them dragons, baby.
I got some news.
Oh, great.
So today, somebody leaked the Avengers 4 teaser trailer.
What?
Fuck out my face.
Swear to God, it's not done. It's like there's like you can tell like the CGI is not done in it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's because there's a scene in there where it's just like claymation figures and you have to cut, and it's real rough footage. And so
Fucking
like you're
cheap
looking at
shit.
it and you're like trying to figure out what's going on, but it's kind of a sweeping shot of like you see the Infinity Gauntlet kind of in the dirt, like just kind of busted up. No Infinity Stones in it.
Oh,
So
Spoiler.
oh yeah.
Oh, well, I guess it's going to be a trailer.
So-
you
Damn,
should-
Jacob, you
Yeah.
look a bit overwhelmed there, Jacob.
Well, I mean,
fucking
so-
hands on your face, my
So
God.
so the trailer that you see, you can hear the audio a little bit going on in the background. Thanos is talking, but apparently like the Thanos is not going to be the big bad of this movie.
Yeah, because Thanos didn't do anything wrong.
So like apparently like there's going to be another. So the speculation is at the end of Infinity War when Thanos is, he sits down to enjoy his life or whatever, that he time traveled back to the, past to his planet to enjoy it before it, was destroyed.
Right.
So, there's been some leaked scenes and talks about, they're using these quantum jump bracelets
Okay.
that Scott Lang helps.
I think it say Scott Blackula.
So this takes place 5 years after.
Nobody. Okay.
Avengers 4 apparently takes place 5 years after Infinity War.
Okay.
So there's another, like, Tony's asking Scott Lang, like, how is this even possible? And, like, they end up in the Battle of New York.
Okay, right.
And then, like, they end up taking that gem out of Loki's scepter. And then there's apparently a flash scene where you see it disappear out of the Infinity Gauntlet. And that's where everybody kind of suits up. And then the end of the trailer shows Avengers Annihilation. And then it says, one last time.
Wow.
May 3rd, 2019.
Mortal Kombat.
You-
Gotcha.
What's your take on all these
Sexy.
these leaked things like the Joker and the Avengers 4? Like,
You know-
are you a fan of it being leaked a little bit?
I don't
right
know.
now?
This was. I mean,
Spoils
this
it.
is super like very minimal of what was leaked.
Right.
Like the Joker. Like
kinda
they
full
leaked-
blown on.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
I
they
know.
Yeah.
leaked I mean,
Thanks to you, Jacob. I know every goddamn thing about the movie.
Yeah, like
it's
I don't
social
even,
media.
I don't even need to see the
Jesus.
fucking movie
Oh
anymore.
man, no, I can't wait
Yeah.
for that. But dang,
So everything takes place on that subway, or
I know, right?
that's the movie.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
wow,
Okay,
wow.
man. I'm
Pretty
So,
low budget.
If it's supposed to take place 5 years after Thanos' snap,
Yeah.
The Joker movie?
I guess
No.
right. The world must be going in chaos right now.
Yeah,
Right? There's no
yeah.
one to protect them. you
Well,
know?
I think that's a whole big thing. Is like Tony Stark's kind of like, it happened. I couldn't fix it. I couldn't save anybody. Like I'm kind of done. Like
Right,
I don't know how he got back to Earth. I mean, he probably had to piece together his nanotech suit on Titan,
right.
or because
yeah, that is
or
right.
they would have had to use.
wasn't even
Maybe
on
he
Earth.
could have flown the Milano, because they would have had to have landed on Titan. Like I forget like how they meet up with the Guardians with Star-Lord and them, but there was a ship. Oh, I guess they were in the other ship and they crash landed on Titan.
yeah.
But then
Right,
but
right.
Star-Lord had to have gotten there. You know what I mean?
Right, because
So because they break into the ship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So maybe he flies the Milano back to Earth and like I don't know, man.
Interesting. Well,
It's gonna be interesting to see like because at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, like Scott Lang is trapped in the quantum realm with no way out. So
Right.
or no for him he can't see any way out. So
So that's how that ends. Okay. No, I'm just playing.
hey, it's already out on
I know,
Blu-ray, bro.
I know. I'm just fucking with you.
so what else we got? Any news on Bill Cosby? On what is Justin?
I actually
How's
saw
he-
something.
I heard a hot dog was thrown at him on his first day.
Was it really?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Is he in prison?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
An 8
yeah.
year
Like
sentence,
two,
I think.
2
or-
or 3 weeks ago, I think.
I read an article
A
saying
hot
that.
dog was thrown at him. Is
Yeah.
that a euphemism for something else?
I know.
Like, somebody was throwing hot
Actual
dog
hot
at him?
dog, yeah.
Or an actual hot dog.
An actual James Coney Highland hot dog, yeah.
I want to know
Look at
about
Jason.
James Coney. That's
That's a
seems
pretty
real
pathetic
upscale.
hot dog, but it's still a hot dog.
But yeah, I actually saw an article on that.
He really is in prison.
Not about
I
the
didn't
hot
know
dog.
that. I thought that they would appeal it to the point where he wouldn't have
I'm
to
sure
serve
they
in
are,
jail.
but
No,
I think-
sir, he was fucking
Nah,
pissed, man.
Well, he sentenced to 3 to 10 years, so I guess
He'll do 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's Cosby.
Hey man,
You watch me eat curry when I leave my
I'm a
prison
damn
cell.
doctor. Fuck.
Dr. Huxtable.
Yeah, wow.
Fucking
Well,
watch me eat curry.
other news. I don't know the guy's name, but the owner of Cat House, that guy.
Robot brothel?
Yeah, no, not the robot brothel. No.
Ah.
It was another
Oh,
kind
the
of
actual in Nevada, the Bunny
yeah,
Ranch
the
guy.
Bunny Ranch guy.
Well, didn't
How old was
Hustler,
he?
That's why it's called Bunny Ranch. You're right.
Didn't the Hustler guy? Didn't Larry Flint die?
No,
just
he's still
recently?
alive, I think.
He's still kicking.
I thought he died.
Well,
No,
Recently.
Larry David's still hauling ass in that wheelchair of his.
You mean Larry Flint?
Larry
Yeah.
Flint. What did I say?
Larry David.
Larry David. Yeah.
damn.
Larry
Yeah,
David,
so his
Larry
name is
Flint.
Dennis Hoff. I'm sorry. He
yeah,
died-
Dennis Hoff. He's owner of the Bunny Ranch.
Yeah, he died at 72. He was found by your boy Ron Jeremy.
The Hedgehog.
AKA
The Hedgehog, yeah.
But apparently he had like an event and he invited all these people over and
Hit in the back.
so I guess there was a party maybe. I don't know. I'm not jumping to conclusions, but I can only assume. The
What
guy
kind of
party.
party?
Guy probably party hard.
Tupperware.
Yeah, a Mary Kay fucking party.
Yeah.
Come
Guy
on.
lived. The guy lived a fast life.
He
a
did
hard
live,
life.
yeah. Ron Jeremy lived a fast life, and I'm sure he's still. Well, he almost died the other
other day?
Yeah,
From
I
what?
think he had a heart attack. And,
From getting up from the chair.
yeah, I know all that Viagra. Well, yeah. That's crazy. Any other news? I'll take one, buddy. If you
Oh
don't mind.
well, what'd you call him a buddy though?
Because he's wearing the Astros hat. By the way, that's the reason why the Astros lost. Is because I text these guys, let's go
Fuck,
Astros.
you're in your juju.
Let's go Astros. And I did not get a text back. And ever since then, we're on a losing streak.
Well, I had to continue
many
laying
times have we
down.
lost?
Wasn't gonna
We lost 4 straight.
respond to that.
We lost 3 straight.
No, 4 straight. They had to win 4 games. We won the first game.
that's
and then
true.
they
Fuck,
won 4
man. I was gonna
games.
say, can you give me one?
You want that one?
What is that?
A Love Street?
Oh,
Can you read?
Can you read?
You don't do labels?
What's the label?
So what we got here? I know the Connors
Oh.
did their debut on the 16th of October. I didn't see it.
I saw parts of it.
You did?
Was it entertaining?
I
at
don't know.
least?
I seen parts of like when when it was just Roseanne, and I don't. It just seems
Doesn't
like
appeal
this
to you?
basic sitcom.
Well, it is basic sitcom. That's why it's on network TV. But I mean,
it's like
it was
nothing new.
entertaining. The Roseanne was.
I don't know. I'm judging based on bits and pieces. So
Okay, well,
I didn't see a whole episode.
I can only
so.
assume it's going to be like this too. You know,
Yeah.
basic. I'm sure they have a soundboard. 'Cause I don't think they do it in front of a live
Don't
studio
bring that
audience.
shit up again.
They do the.
Are they,
That's not a real audience.
Are they switching out Becky's? Because they switched out Becky's twice.
Oh,
it was,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
the
yeah.
original girl, and then she went to like college or something,
Yeah.
and then they brought in Sarah Chalk, and then she left again, and then the original girl came back.
So what happened with Roseanne when they did the reboot is that the original Becky was here with them, and then I guess she was trying to get pregnant, and then they the one that was doing the artificial insemination into her was the old Becky or the new Becky.
Was Sarah Chalk from,
Guess who it was,
from
yeah.
Scrubs?
Yes. So they had
Becky
that.
the
It was
blonde
like a
chick?
cameo
Yeah.
for her,
Oh, okay.
But then she was gone, and then Roseanne did her thing, and that was gone too.
Roseanne snapped the Infinity Gauntlet with that racist tweet.
Don't bring that bullshit again, racist. Don't go through that bullshit again.
Hey, that's your opinion, man. Everyone's opinion.
That's just like your opinion, man.
Some guys like, hey man, do you like cutting yards? Why? Because I'm Hispanic. Like, no, because you have an awesome lawnmower. I took that as a racist remark because I'm Hispanic. But that's like my opinion, taking it as a racist remark.
Yeah, but
right?
did that remark have backed by hatred?
No. If a guy he sees my awesome lawnmower and you like doing yards because I invested money into an awesome lawnmower. I'm taking it because you see the color of my skin.
Yeah.
That's my personal problem because I
Yeah.
took it as a racist remark.
Right.
But I mean, it
Yeah.
was supposed to be a joke.
Well,
I didn't mean to turn it into a serious thing.
Yeah. Just people like to really easily throw the word around, racist and rapist and shitty artist, art graffiti artists. People just throw those phrases
everybody's
around.
got to love a little.
Just,
that's all.
yeah. But hear people out. Let them listen. Let them speak.
Yeah.
Don't just fucking silence them immediately and not hear them the fuck out.
And it's okay if I hear you that I'm not gonna, judge my opinion to you. And if I disagree, I still respect
there's
you.
nothing wrong with
I still
that.
respect you. That's the thing
and
with
go
today.
fuck yourself too
People
at the
don't
same time.
People don't have respect for anybody anymore. That's the problem.
That's true.
Social media, I blame.
I do too.
It's easier to it's easier to be a dick online instead of in front of in person. Basically.
Oh no!
Easy to
It's
hide
easy to
behind.
be a dick in person. People get fired.
In person.
Yes. When if somebody gets pissed off at fucking Burger King, I want to speak to your manager, and then because the fucking I don't know, I saw some fucking social fucking experiment go on about some kid getting bullied and people were getting pissed off about their burgers getting smashed.
Well,
but they didn't do anything about the kid getting bullied. Like nobody stood up for the kid, and everybody was like complaining about their burgers, and they're like, "Hey, let me
they
speak
gotta
to the
eat?
manager." Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm just saying that people are quick to let me speak to the manager and get you fired. Quick.
Well, the point is
that's
people
bad
don't-
management.
That's bad
Yeah,
management.
well-
There's no support right there. That's the
Yeah.
thing. You gotta support for
A
your-
good manager has support his employees and
Absolutely.
support the business, but
Yeah.
that's neither.
Well,
we don't
kind
need
of
to
going
talk-
on. I was just talking about in general, like people
Racism.
just trolling and
Racism's out of control.
Obviously, racism goes to Burger King. Make sure you get your burger straight because you're racist if you undercook my burger. That's the premise of the
Yeah.
story.
Nah, you're way off, man.
Yeah.
You're way off. I said
mixing
bully.
it.
like we might as well throw this in a mix too. I was saying earlier about the next time they do a high profile serial killer, make sure the actor they hire is a real serial killer because otherwise I'm not gonna fucking see it.
There you go.
This is on the basis of how things
Good
are
point.
going now in Hollywood.
Good point.
Oh, they're not amount enough. Like,
So
they
you
really
really-
got to be X.
You really,
they really got to be
like
Y.
To
I'm
making
saying,
a murderer on Netflix. 'cause
yeah, I'm saying like if you're gonna legitimately have a serial killer movie, and the guys, the character's based on a serial killer, he should be a fucking
No,
serial
no.
killer.
That's not where it's going in Hollywood right now.
Yeah,
it's going.
It's
hold on.
eventually, because it's
Okay,
just,
you can keep
baby
talking. I'll
steps,
just not
baby
talk.
steps.
There you go.
It's a fucking joke.
Well, I'll do you one
Jesus.
better, sir.
What I'm trying to
go ahead.
say
But
is the
it
way
just-
that it's going in Hollywood right now is that no matter what the character, if you're pulling from another medium, everybody is so quick to be like, why'd that have to be a white guy? Why'd that have to be a white
Yeah.
guy? Why couldn't
Yeah.
it be this? Why couldn't it be that? Well, and to an extent, I agree with that, but like, if there's a character, if there's an actor that you're like, man, this guy would make it doesn't matter. Like, this character transcends that.
Right.
Or whatever. But, like, people were really upset about Iron Fist
Right.
when them casting Finn Jones as Iron Fist. Well, guess what? The whole purpose of that comic book was he was a blonde-haired white guy that was a kung fu master or whatever. That was how the source material was written. Could they have cast an Oriental guy in there? Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
But they are an Asian American.
But
yeah,
Jet Li's on the
absolutely.
verge of dying,
They
I
could
think.
have. Like it's. But that, you can say that about anything. But Hollywood is so quick to like to push their like that agenda. I feel like it's forced. It's not genuine.
Right.
Like when
Very
it's
much, yeah.
when it's genuine, like it shows because you're like you can see past the race and you can see past the people's color and their acting transcends that. I'm all for it. That's great. Like casting Idris Elba as James Bond. I would love to see that.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I would
Actually,
love to see that.
He's a good actor.
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
But casting a person of color into a role just because you want a person of color in that role, I feel like that's not like the right way to do that. Like,
Yeah, that's
you
that's-
should do
that's
it.
forcing. That's
if
just,
you're,
but that's
you're
also-
forcing it. It's not
yeah,
genuine.
Exactly, and that's
I agree. My whole argument
Like
is,
sorry, I don't mean to
No,
interrupt
go
you.
ahead.
But like in Spider-Man: Homecoming, them casting Zendaya as MJ.
right. That's awesome.
Great. That was fucking awesome.
yeah.
She did a great job. She
Absolutely.
earned that role.
Absolutely.
Like, I was totally okay with that. You know what I mean? But it's...
Even Flash Thompson,
yeah, exactly.
and he played a badass
Yeah,
character.
he did. He did a great job.
But my whole argument is this, man. Okay, to piggy off of what Paul said. Anybody know who Chris Sullivan is?
No.
sounds
Sounds
familiar.
familiar.
He's the guy in This Is Us, the big guy with the big girl.
I don't watch that.
Well, he's also in Guardians of the Galaxy, whatever. I forgot whatever it's. But whatever. He plays a fat guy, but he's not fat. So if you're gonna play a fat guy, I need to be a little plump. Be a little plump here.
Okay.
Yeah, where's all the fat guys?
Yeah. Hey, this guy says he's supposed to be fat. This guy's skinny as fuck.
So
Getting the fuck out of here. And it's getting to that point, fellas. I'm telling you, it's just going to get
I'm
that
with you.
ridiculous. I
But
it
in the
just
previous
kinda-
episode, Rob did say he likes his Superman white.
I did not say that.
that's not the point I was getting at either. But all right,
I did say
just
that.
saying like.
But yeah, he had like a few beers in, so that's hilarious.
No, but that's okay. You know what? I've never said anything on this podcast that I won't stand behind, and that's personal preference. I don't have anything against Michael B. Jordan
Yeah,
or
and
any,
there's nothing
or
wrong
any
with that
black
either.
person or playing Superman. I'm just saying personal preference. The reason that I enjoy those movies are because it's nostalgic. It's throwback to my childhood.
That's true.
It's seeing on the big screen
What
all
you've
these
imagined?
things that you've imagined unfold on the pages in front of you. And you always, like, I want to see what's on the page projected in front of me.
Fair enough.
That's just the way it
No,
is.
I get you. I'm
You
with
know
you
what
on that.
mean?
I can
Like,
see where you're coming. Yeah, absolutely.
And it has nothing to do with the fact that,
I know.
you know, back in the Silver Age of comics, you know, like, all the comic book writers were white, and
yeah.
everybody ended up being up white. But
Yeah, it's just because
I'll tell you, like, Black Panther is one of my favorite comic book
But see,
movies.
you know, when you talk about
And-
that,
and-
like when people create things, usually they're an extension of themselves. So if they're
Exactly.
white, it's just they just have to be white. That's it.
That's
That's it. It's not.
There
fucking
doesn't need to be a
racist fucking
label
thing
put
or
on
any
it. Yeah,
bullshit.
but
I'm
that's
just saying,
right.
like simple
But if you wanna-
psychology.
But if you want to go
like,
back
people-
from that, but like, why? I mean, I'm sure there was other artists and writers, but back in the '60s, even in the '50s, '40s, oh, you're white. I want you on my team. So I'm just saying.
That's true.
I'm just saying, you know, like, and that's unfair. But I mean,
it is unfair.
Yeah.
It is unfair the way things unfolded. But we're living in a society. We live in a society. For some reason, people want to fold back to be like, hold the generations that are, you know, upcoming, being born now and coming of age now, want to hold us responsible for the sins of generations prior. It's like I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah,
Right.
it's always,
That makes
it's always,
perfect sense.
it's always
I like
like,
that.
yeah, it's always been like that. It's
Like,
bullshit.
we're stuck in the middle.
no, exactly.
We're stuck in the middle,
But, I
man.
mean,
They're shitting on us.
So how
for-
did this grow into a tree? Was this because of the Roseanne racism remark?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck.
Yeah, right. We just
Yeah, we
fucking.
did. We went on a
That shit
tangent.
just sprouted, man. We just went all over the place from fucking serial killers to the fucking racism.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna fucking
Interesting. I like it,
legitimately film a serial killer, you know,
This
have
is
a
us
what
being
it is.
serial
us.
killer.
This is us being us. So.
Yeah, you know.
What else is on the current event agenda?
Oh well, shit. This is one of my personal things. Ryan Johnson, he's the director of a movie called Brick, which I really enjoy.
Nice. Yeah.
yeah,
Is that
I
with
really-
the JGL?
yeah. And
He's
Looper,
doing the new Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, he's working on.
He did the Last
Damn,
Jedi.
trilogy.
Yeah, that's right. He did the Last Jedi. He's doing another movie. It's called Knives Out, which is going to be a murder mystery.
Oh, I read about that. That sounds good.
And it has Captain America, well, Chris Evans, and
Ex Captain America.
ex
Sorry.
Captain America,
Captain
and ex 007, Daniel. What's his name?
Daniel Craig?
Daniel Craig.
Bronson. I thought you were talking about that guy, Pierce.
Charles Bronson?
No, Pierce Brosnan.
nah.
Yeah, whoever played the
The one
From
before
Mrs.
him.
Doubtfire?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's him.
I was like,
That's
wait
the
a
one.
second, he's gonna catch it.
I got it.
That's the one.
You mean that fucking movie with Mork from Ork in it?
There you go, Mork and Mindy. That you talking about? Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Fucking Michael Shannon's gonna be in it.
Nice.
Anna de Armas is gonna be in it, and it's reported that Don Johnson's gonna be in it too.
Don
Don
Johnson.
Johnson.
That
From
caught my
Nash
eye.
Bridges
Yeah,
and Cheech
Right.
Marin.
fucking.
Of Cheech and Chong?
So yeah,
There you go. Go little bastard.
so yeah, that's
Nice, okay.
that tickled me.
Michael
very
Shannon's
nice.
been kind of
Oh,
quiet lately, huh?
Lakeith and Stanford's gonna be in there too. Or Stanfield. There we go.
There you go.
Ryan Coogler was officially
Fucking
signed
class,
to
you
write
ass.
and direct Black Panther 2.
Oh, nice.
I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be good.
Marvel stout.
telling
DC, where are you at, man?
There ain't nowhere.
Oh,
because
shit, wait a
they
minute.
Came out yesterday or the day before that Warner Brothers officially said they are no longer pursuing Batman or Superman movies with Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill.
Well, with Henry Cavill too?
With Henry Cavill too.
Interesting.
But they said they're not pursuing movies. They're with
Together.
No, with no. But that doesn't mean that he may not reprise his role as like.
So they're saying they don't want, like,
in
another
other movies.
standalone
They're just saying
Superman?
they're not doing
Standalone.
any more standalone.
Yeah, fucking Henry Cavill, man. He is best Superman.
I don't disagree, but here's something. Here's where I think DC's going with this. It's so hard to make a Batman or a Superman movie because the expectations are so high.
Right.
So like Marvel didn't have to worry about that because Iron Man was
Hit it out the park.
He was a B-list. He was a B-list superhero. Captain America was too. All the Avengers were. X-Men was Marvel's bread and butter, but Sony owned that. Or sorry, Fox owned that.
Fox owns it, yeah.
So they showed us that like the B-list characters, those are the ones that like, oh, okay, like people really can respond to these because a lot of times they have a lot deeper history. You know what I mean? Because they're written so broadly and not so.
I think that's why
narrowly.
DC's going with Joker?
I think that what that's why DC's going with Aquaman and Wonder
well.
Woman, and they're going to start pulling up their
Yeah.
B squad, and then you'll have Superman have cameos in some of the movies. Maybe do another Justice League movie, but revolve it around another a bigger threat, and have to bring Superman into it. You don't worry. You don't need to tell the Superman story. Fucking everybody knows the fucking Superman story. Everybody knows the
I don't know.
fucking
That
Batman
Man,
story.
that Man of Steel
I
story
fucking
was
don't.
great.
I agree.
Damn it.
The what?
I don't mind rewatching that again from a different perspective.
Russell Crowe was good. In that
Russell
movie.
Crowe, yeah.
Russell.
Absolutely right, man. I don't know. Oh, well, we'll see. All right.
You guys are so fucking.
Go ahead, say something.
You guys are fucking dumb.
Why?
Jesus.
Whoa.
What the fuck did we do?
Whoa.
I
That
know.
comes out of left field. Why are we dumb?
That's what my coworker told me today.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
About our
Shit, man.
podcast?
No, me.
Well, that's what I was getting at.
Me?
One of your coworkers said you're dumb. How old is he?
I don't know. Probably in his 60s.
And he's working construction. Who's dumb? Pretty sure he's dumb.
Actually, I don't think he's my coworker. I think he's more like my dad.
He's pretty dumb.
Ultra Cliff.
Ultra Cliff. You set me up for failure on that, you son of a bitch.
I was just winging that whole thing.
Oh, nice. Okay, throwing the acting gig ahead. It's okay.
Yeah, fucking threw me under the bus. Fucking Cliff's gonna pull a gun on me next time
Yeah.
he sees me.
Hey,
He's gonna pull it out and fucking drop it on the table. Who's dumb? What were you saying about dumb?
Oh man, but no.
Be like, Cliff, you remember all those times I fixed your Lexus for you for free? Calm down, bro.
That's true.
To go back into what you were saying, Wonder Woman was a great movie. Aquaman, I can have high
I think it's
expectations.
going to be really good.
But is it too much to ask if I can get Tim Burton and Christopher Nolan together
Yes.
and do a Batman
Yes, it
movie?
is too
It'll
much to
never
ask.
happen.
Of course, it will
That's
never
way too
happen.
much to ask.
I know it will never happen,
Yeah.
but put both of them
Christopher
into one
Nolan-
room.
Tim
That would be
Burton now?
badass.
Actually, that would be pretty cool.
Christopher Nolan has already said he is
Never, I know he's not doing Batman. I know.
He didn't even
Maybe
want
he
to
would-
do Batman originally.
Originally, yeah, I heard about that too. But what if he doesn't want to do Batman with Christian Bale? Maybe he wants to do Batman.
No, he didn't want to do Batman. Period.
Yeah.
I thought he was a huge Batman fan.
He is, but he didn't want to do. Come on. He was Batman Begins had to follow Batman Forever.
Hey, you can blame.
That's what Batman was on the big screen. Was George Clooney and the nipples
easy.
bat suit.
I was talking about that
That's
today.
easy to go
that-
after. What's the
remember that
problem?
Scene, remember that scene when
Yeah.
they click their heels
There's no
and ice
challenge.
skates come out?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
And then he pulled out the bat card forever.
Yeah. Never leave it home.
Never leave it.
Fucking asshole.
Oh, wow. Blame that
Has
shoemaker.
anybody watched Titans on the DC?
I heard mixed reviews on that, but it's a lot of violence, apparently.
I've watched a lot of things about it, and
Oh, you haven't quite
I'm
seen
going
it.
to give it a fair spin on
You
it.
haven't quite seen it, though.
I've seen scenes of it, and
Enough?
it's fucking terrible. Like,
I mean, I saw the trailer, and I thought it was trash, but then...
Yeah.
There's mixed
supposedly-
reviews about it, yeah.
Supposedly, it's
Is this
actually
with like
pretty
the
good.
wild hair colors and shit? Or
Yeah, exactly.
Well, those are the Titans.
Is it
I
like
mean,
Titans mixed with Kick-Ass? It's like, I heard there's some violence into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but
I like Kick-Ass. I'm okay with it. If I see some blood, see some guts, see some noodles coming out of the damn stomach,
Oh, God.
that's great.
noodles.
Oh, man.
That's disgusting.
Is there anything else on the current events?
Shit, the 20th anniversary of Big Lebowski.
Yeah, more. Oh yeah.
The 20th or 25th?
20th.
20th.
Oh, the 20th?
20th.
20th.
98. 98.
Hey, watch it,
You're
man.
right, 98, you're
Yeah,
right.
it's,
Yeah.
Great movie.
So, yeah,
Great
they
movie.
did
One
a...
of my favorites.
Yeah.
Top
Yeah,
five.
fuck it. Yeah.
Top
Let's
five of
answer
my
everything.
favorites.
That's fair. Yeah.
Super quotable.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck up, Donnie.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? If you do a side-by-side comparison of John Goodman back then in 98 and John Goodman now,
Yeah. It looks hilarious.
They look really.
Like weird. His face looks sucked.
he looks
Like
happier.
drained. His face looks drained. Constantly.
Or even you go back to 2012 in Flight.
Oh
Give us
yeah,
back Cocoa Puff.
fucker. No, yeah, come on, dude. Cocoa Puff left. Right? Left.
Have you seen Atomic
Right?
Blonde?
I'll do that on
Yes.
video later.
Yes, I love that
That's a
movie.
good- He was good in
I
that
didn't
movie.
Yeah,
finish
he
that
was
John
movie.
Goodman
great.
was in that one?
Yeah, he was good in that one,
Atomic
too.
Blonde. Man, she played a triple agent in that movie. Oh my god!
Yes.
The twist at the end.
That
I was
ending,
like,
yeah.
I was like, Jesus! I
Thanks
didn't
for
see that
fucking
coming.
ruining it. Jesus.
That
You
was-
weren't going to
ruined-
watch it. You weren't going to watch
Charlize
it.
Theron.
Charlize Theron, there you
Charlize
go.
Theron. And she's.
I'll hit you, too, man.
You're lucky the
Do I need
fucking
to
camera's
separate
off.
y'all?
No, we're good. We're good.
Hands to yourselves, gentlemen.
Anyhow. Anyhow,
Don't
yeah.
give me no
That was a
knives
good
and
movie,
keep your
man.
hands in yours.
Anything on The Simpsons? Well,
Oh,
actually, no,
yes.
Go back. Go back to the Big Lebowski. They did a picture together.
No, they did an interview together.
Oh, did
It's
they?
30 minutes long, about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's John Goodman,
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi, and the main guy,
Jeff Bridges,
Yeah,
yeah.
Jeff Bridges. My bad, dude. I'm getting hit for that one.
When
but
John
yeah.
Goodman got
Yes, he
his
should.
star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and Jeff Bridges pulled out the fucking dude poncho and like slicks his hair back and he's like, so like, and John Goodman's like, dude. That's awesome. And he does the whole speech about John Goodman as the dude. And oh my god, it was so fun.
I think I'll die a happy man if I was able just to hang out, have a beer with Jeb Bridges and Steve Buscemi.
Yeah,
that'll be
Fuck
man.
Yeah,
That's fun.
That brings tears to my eyes. That was badass.
So one of the guys I work with, he's in charge of the new cars being delivered and stuff. Mm-hmm. So he walks in wearing like Tesla used to make these track jackets, and they're like track jacket. And so they're red with like white piping on them.
Right.
And he walked in with an Astros hat on. It was backwards, and he was wearing his gray polo for the day. Uh-huh. And he walked in, and I was like, oh my god, he's super skinny. I was like, that's Steve Buscemi from that meme. How's it going, fellow kids? You know what I mean?
Oh, you talking about from Chuck and Larry?
Is that where it's from?
I think so. Yeah.
He was the auditor, right?
Yeah. The fucking
he's like,
weasel.
I've gone undercover in situations where, you know, I'm a younger man or something like that in the scene, and it's just like him. There's a meme that floats around online, and it's,
I think I've seen that.
He's in a high school. He's got a skateboard over his shoulder, and he's wearing like a shirt that says music band.
Never mind.
Like
That's a different movie. Yeah,
no,
that's a different movie.
I'm gonna show it to you so you can
music band.
It's hilarious.
This one right here.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
You seen this?
I've seen that one. Man,
That looks like from
God,
is that from a TV show?
Him. Yeah, it was from a TV show.
Oh, okay.
Steve Buscemi.
But yeah, that's interesting. And Simpsons is the 666th episode.
Jesus Christ.
It's gonna be a Treehouse of Horrors.
It's gonna be the
Awesome.
Treehouse
I'm
of
not
Horrors.
getting past that, to be honest with you.
I thought they did
30
too, man.
seasons.
I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
No, I didn't.
They're
Well, I
barely
didn't-
at 600.
I thought they barely
know.
passed 500.
You know,
I didn't know it was up to 600.
It's gonna be a sad day when Matt Groening decides to
Dies?
fucking-
Or
No, decides to
damn.
hang
No,
up
that's
the-
when
He's
what's
gonna
his
ride
name
that
passes
fucking
away.
Simpsons
I don't think-
pony
I don't think-
all the way. To
I
the
think he's
fence.
a lifer,
That's
man.
when
He's a lifer?
Dan Kiss. No, you know what? If one of the main cast members passes away, that's it, man. Because like you kill off like if you know
If what Yearling
if-
Smith dies and you can't find somebody to do fucking.
Hey,
Lisa's
you get me
voice-
drunk enough, I'll do a Homer.
most
Come
of,
on.
no Dan Castanella provides a lot of voices,
I know,
and Hank Azaria does too. He provides like half of Springfield.
But I think
And so
Dan
does-
is older, right?
Dan's older.
a little bit, not that much.
Nah, I think they're about the same.
Yeah,
Sport.
Harry Shearer.
Shearer
He's
played
older
the-
one. He's
yeah.
like in his 70s, I think now.
Oh, wow.
If he plays half of Springfield too, so it's like a lot.
But
You
those
know, one of them
voices are so
goes-
memorable. Like
Yeah.
That's true.
there's
Well, then again,
a lot of people in this world that can pull those
Like the
off.
teacher died, and she's
yeah, they retired her.
They
though.
retired
her?
And Necrobopple, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's good, that's
I
good.
think it's
good
Trish
tribute.
McNellen. I think
It was because it was
or-
one lady that did her voice the whole only her voice.
Yeah. Because just
She was so
I was gonna
hot
say technically
being a
that
Simpsons character.
they already kind of tested that. Yeah. They kind of already tested that theory a little bit when Harry Shearer's he's like I'm gone. Like a few seasons ago, he said he quit because he wanted to do more projects. He wanted to get away. The Simpsons wouldn't let him, or I don't know if it wouldn't let him, but it was taking too much time,
Of course.
and he wanted to pursue other projects. But this is like the season finale. He announced it, and right before this, I don't know, like it was maybe I think it was like a month or two before the season premiere. He actually comes back.
Oh wow!
Like yeah, and they were going to continue without him. I was like, how, man? He provides a lot of fun. I think actually no, they already had in mind they were just going to replace him. I don't know how.
I'm sure they
That's
have
a lot of
somebody in
fucking
the back
voices.
pockets just in case purposes.
They're gonna have to
Yeah.
hire
Yeah,
more
Yeah, but
actors.
man,
Can you imagine though
it's
having that
hard.
job security of being on that? You know,
Yeah.
on the Simpsons team. Like, geez, for 30 years?
You're gonna try to
Yeah.
replace me.
1989.
A long time. If I was Hank Azaria or Dan Castaneda or
you
Harry
sport.
Shearer, I would have fucking renegotiated my contract to be like, look, I need to be making this percentage.
I'm sure they did.
Of
Oh, no,
Yeah,
syndication-
they make a
had
lot
to.
of fucking
of syndication
money. Yeah,
in perpetuity, like just like Jerry Seinfeld.
Mo would not be
and-
Mo
yeah.
without Hank.
You know what I
right?
mean? Like Jerry Seinfeld and all. You know, he makes more money off of Seinfeld being in syndication than he did when it was not.
Yeah.
You know, when it's
Damn.
still
Exactly.
like he makes millions of dollars a year just off of the syndication rights of
Damn.
Seinfeld.
that's
Like,
awesome.
When
He
you're like,
deserved it.
I wonder why Michael Richards doesn't work, or or fucking
Doesn't have
Jason.
to.
Oh,
Well,
Alexander,
doesn't
'cause
have to,
he's
like
got
Jason
fucking
Alexander
money.
or Julia Louis-Dreyfus. You know why? Because a long time ago they negotiated rights in perpetuity to fucking syndication rights of that show, and they make fucking millions of dollars a year off of all this. I mean, you got to think they play like TBS and fucking 39.
Yeah.
They play fucking Seinfeld 5, 6, 7, 10 episodes a
Newman.
fucking
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
A day.
Yeah.
They probably make a couple $1,000s off of each one of
The
those.
last time I
episodes.
seen like Jason Alexander, I think it was in Dunstan Jackson. Remember that movie?
Damn,
Monkey
yeah,
movie?
yeah.
Can't say I've ever seen it.
Shallow Hal was
Oh,
actually
Shallow
last time.
Hal has the
Oh
gal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shallow Hal wants a gal. I cured you, baby.
So anything else on the event? Current
I think that's
events?
about it.
That's about it.
Well, guys,
Fucking-
catch us on the other side of the break here. We're about to, refresh on these beverages. Thank you, sir.
Yes, one of us has to jerk off too. It's not me. Just announcing.
Say
all of
what?
us.
I don't know what.
This is getting strange.
A lot of things were
I'm-
said.
I'm down with it.
But stick with us, guys. On the other side of the break, we're going to come back and talk about the paranormal. What were we talking about, guys?
We're talking about
Skinwalker
Skinwalker
Ranch.
Ranch in Utah. It's gonna be a good episode. Stick around. We'll be right back.
All right, so back to this stupid shit we got to do.
Hey man, this is not stupid shit. This is our life. We dedicate tens of minutes a week to this.
That's what I told my boss today.
Oh, back to this shit. Back. Okay.
Yeah.
When you started your shift, or
So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about this episode. We're talking about this is actually really cool. I'd never heard about this. I'm glad somebody. Paul, did you bring this up?
I think Jacob did actually.
This is a good one.
Both of
The
us,
actual-
maybe.
This is a good one. We may do 2 episodes on this because I really like this. This is
Yeah,
really interesting. So we're going to talk about Skinwalker Ranch and just it sounds like a fucking porno movie, but
It really does.
Skinwalker Ranch is it's a ranch out in Utah. It's a 480 acre ranch out in Utah.
George Lucas owns it, right?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, right?
Skywalker Ranch, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one. I thought we were talking about the
dipshits.
Bunny Ranch. Man, what's going on?
We all
There is a lot
research
of
different
different
ranches.
Yeah.
Be like, I didn't need to research Skywalker Ranch. I know everything about Star Wars. So no,
Bunny
we're-
Ranch.
we'll let's. Ralph's like, I know about the Bunny Ranch.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that one.
So the Skinwalker Ranch is named after a Navajo Indian. What do you call it? Like a witch is what they call it. What they refer to it as. That would it's. Hold on, it's has the ability to possess or disguise himself as an animal. So that's what they call a skinwalker. So, Paul's kind of our resident expert on Skinwalker
Don't
Ranch.
say that.
No, he just did
Okay.
research.
Learned
He
about
did.
it recently.
We all
He
I
did
mean,
his
we
due
all did-
diligence.
We all did
Yeah.
some research on it.
It was Paul's idea. Fuck that.
So I'll
again.
kind of guide this conversation and interject if I say something wrong.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
from what I know about Skinwalker Ranches, I don't know about the previous ownership, but I know that the family that bought it in the late 80s, early 90s, whoever it was, they're the ones that they were, he was a breeder of Black Angus cattle, and he bought the ranch And
The Sherman family.
is it the Sherman family?
Yes.
Okay, so the Sherman family bought it.
I think he only owned it for like 2 or 3 years.
It was
Yeah.
for 2 years, yeah.
So Tom Sherman, isn't that his name? Tom Sherman?
No, I believe it's Terry.
Terry. Anyway, so the Sherman family buys the ranch, and apparently there's a clause in the real estate contract that they're not allowed to dig on the ranch
Yeah.
without prior consent from the previous owner.
I forgot about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
they don't see that at first. So they get a great deal on this ranch. I mean, it's a huge ranch, and they get a great deal on it. They don't even really notice because it's in great cattle country. I've seen pictures of the ranch. I mean, the views are astounding.
No, it's beautiful. Like it's located in a Uinta Basin of the northeastern Utah near Ballard. That's a city, small city. But yeah, it's beautiful. It's surrounded by mountains and
Yeah,
cliffs.
it's great. It seems like a great area.
Yeah, and the people, the Sherman family, they wondered why such a beautiful place. Nobody
Go
wanted
for so cheap.
and nobody wanted it. And then
Right.
eventually they
So-
soon found out.
Apparently, the house on the property was pretty derelict, and they moved in. They had a lot of work to do before he could move his. So he bred Black Angus cattle. That was his thing. That was so
Sick fuck.
And I mean, he was jerking off. He was jerking off cows. I jerk off a cow myself every once in a while. You know,
It's the thing
it's
to
like
do.
a
It's
cow.
a pastime.
Anyway, so they, from my understanding, the wife noticed at first a lot of things going missing, like and turning up in really weird places in the
Yeah,
house.
well,
Like
for
all the cats,
Well,
I think,
for
were
for
gone.
one, before that, they started to notice like I guess as far as like the previous owner and what they left as far as like security. A lot of things are padlocked.
Yeah, every door was
even
double dead bolted,
yeah.
and every window
There
was dead bolted,
yeah,
and they chained
chains,
2
heavy
big
chains.
guard dogs on either side of the house.
Yeah,
But they didn't notice that when they moved in. They said that they didn't notice that until
right, exactly. Till they settled
after
in.
weird things started happening there. So, like, the wife said she noticed it first when she noticed things she would set down and they would turn up in other places. But she didn't say anything to Terry.
Right.
And then until Terry came home and found like one of his post diggers was missing. And I mean, that's a pretty big piece of equipment.
The hell's a post digger? Oh, you're talking about for like a fence
Yeah,
line?
yeah.
Oh, for the post.
Yeah,
Because
it's
they
like
were still
split.
Yeah,
they
splits
they
the
had to
ground.
do
Yeah.
no not a hand post digger,
Oh.
like a piece of this was
Like
a
a hydraulic?
hydraulic
Oh,
that
okay.
hooks up to a tractor.
Okay.
Because when you're doing a lot of posts like on
Yeah,
it
that's
hooks
a
up-
lot of fucking work.
Yeah,
I've done that
you're
before.
talking like a 75, 90 pound, pull behind a tractor piece of
Yeah.
equipment, and it had gone missing, and so they were attributing it to their kids or something. Maybe she's getting old. That's what she was. But when that happened, that's when she decided to say something apparently, and that's when things started getting really weird. And I think it was shortly after that the wolf incident happened. So shortly after they moved in, they noticed this very large
Like
wolf-like
9 feet
animal.
tall,
They said it
about.
was it was
A dire wolf.
dire wolf. If you're a Stark,
There you go.
they said it was 3 to 4 times larger than a normal wolf, but it was tame. It came right up to him. Terry petted it. Apparently,
Yeah.
They said it was the
Yeah.
size
But
of their
also,
car,
but no,
right?
but no, don't mention. Well, I forgot to mention though, when it was approaching, it was Terry and his son. They were at night, and this thing was approaching him. And I believe when I was looking at stuff, I think they said this thing was on its fucking hind legs. It was standing like very, very tall.
I didn't read that, but they
I
said it was
thought-
wolf-like and
Yeah, either way, but the weird thing about it was acting casual. It wasn't frightened. It wasn't
it was
scared.
tame.
It was tame, yeah. But the way it was walking, like it was just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on here? And,
Yeah,
just take it
you
easy,
got
like you
school?
said.
I got
Yeah,
school.
yeah. The father was petting it.
Yeah,
and
and
then-
then all of a sudden it turned and grabbed one of the calves.
There
Yeah,
you go.
because they saw its
That's,
snout stick
calves,
out from
yeah.
the barn, and it went to it.
Gotta eat.
Yeah.
And Terry unloads at least 4 or 5 shots of his .44 Magnum revolver point blank into the chest of this thing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing
it didn't
happened.
phase it.
What's
Didn't-
going
it
on
didn't-
here?
Didn't really get its
No-
attention either.
Yeah, no blood or nothing. It didn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't even wince. And then after the fourth or fifth shot,
They got
the thing turns and just casually walks off.
Well,
and he
the
pulls
son-
out his rifle.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
30-06.
He pulls
Yeah.
out his rifle and hits it again, aiming for the heart, and hits the heart and doesn't even phase it. And then the second shot is the one
You saw
that
flesh.
it
Right.
winced and dropped a piece of flesh, and the thing scampered. He didn't even say run. He said he scampered away.
Yeah, it was still
And they
kind of
s-
casually walking away
Right,
at that
Yeah.
point.
And they said that the piece of flesh that it dropped smelled like it was
yeah.
rotting as soon as they found it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
he
I
said
didn't know about
they
that part,
tracked
yeah.
it for 2 or 3 miles through the woods
Yeah,
before it
and
disappeared.
it just literally disappeared. Like
Yeah.
no trace of it. Fucking gone.
Yeah.
And the size of this
And
wolf,
this was not the last time that this animal had shown up around them. And they have
Yeah.
pictures. I mean, mind you, this is back in the early 90s, so camera technology is not fantastic, so especially the kind of cameras that you would have in rural Utah. But I mean, the pictures of this thing, after they saw this and they saw it like basically stalking them around the property every once in a while. Like
Right.
the wife said that she would be in the woods and like you would feel the like a gust of like a big bird or a bat fly by, and she had gotten the sensation a couple of times and then realized that it was a very, very large animal around her, but she couldn't see it. Kind of like the Predator, you know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
invisibly
that's fucking-
camouflaged. That's how they describe it. So and then that was the big incident with the bulletproof
Yeah, that was-
wolf.
That was really well as far as like story wise. Like I mean, there's a lot of them, but man, that was one of the weirdest ones. There's
That's
a
when
lot
the
of
town people started gossiping.
yeah.
And,
Well, like that's what they're saying. Like as far as like this thing has been like the origin of it has been around for a while, and it's supposedly like in the 1800s and particularly in the Civil War. The origins, like where this probably started, is these two young youth members, like I guess in the Civil War, took orders from a Kit Carson's, I believe his name is, and it was for like taking over or just I believe it was taking over some Navajo territory, but in result they put a curse on the land when that
Is that
happened.
what it was?
And they say in that result, emerged Skinwalker for the very first time. They think that's where it came from, the legend. So because of that, that's where it originated. And they say it still walks to this day, obviously, and it roams around, in what's called Uinta Basin, in Utah.
So there's and the other theory is that they've. So one incident that Terry witnessed was a lot of people around the town have noticed flying triangular objects that move faster than they should and seem to hover and things like that. And on one occasion, Terry claims to have looked over the tree line to see these floating objects, these orange floating objects right at the top of the tree line through a deer scope on his rifle. And to see it, and what he described was these orbs that were forming, kind of flew around and then stopped and made this circular formation. And through the formation, it was at night, obviously, and when he was watching this, and in the middle of the circle that they formed, he could see clear blue sky, and then an object came through that and flew low across the tree line and out.
Right.
And this is one of the later incidences that happened. There was a lot of incidents that happened on this property and one of the things that some of the skeptics of this, push on is that they all seem to center around Terry Sherman. Like all these weird things happen around him. There was an incident where one of these orbs came in and crushed his dogs. Did you hear about? Did you read about that one?
I think that was like the last straw for why. Yeah, it was 3 dogs he sent out, and I I don't think they returned, or that was.
They did not
I think
return.
they just,
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the final straw for him.
Because
Like him and his family,
these
they had
orbs-
enough because they've been
These
terrorized.
orbs looked
by
like
these
they were
things.
navigated, and they were going through the woods. And then he sent the dogs out. And then when he went over there, the dogs weren't coming back. And then he found an area where it was like burnt, like rubber, and it looked like those dogs were incinerated.
Wow.
And that wasn't really the last straw. The last straw was him and his
that-
wife.
Go ahead.
No, him and his wife were leaving to town, and he made a comment saying, "Man, you know, because some of his cattle was ended up missing and this and that, and
Yeah.
mutilated." And he made a comment like, "Man, thankfully none of our bulls are missing. It'll be something. We'll be kind of screwed if our bulls end up missing. So when they get back to the ranch, the bulls are nowhere to be found. There's 4 bulls. Those bulls were locked." In a trailer. I believe it was a trailer, but it was one of these things where there's no way that the bulls would have been in there if it wasn't literally open. But the thing is, the door was locked. It had cobwebs, like if it wasn't messed with for years. But they were all stuck in there. And then when they awoke, they started like trampling each other and going crazy. They let them out. So it's like maybe he thinks that he's being spied on.
Yeah.
And that was the last straw. He's like,
So
we gotta sell the property.
the first straw against that he said he noticed was his nephew was helping him move the cattle into the property, you know, because he was moving from another piece of property. So he had this prize herd, and a couple of incidents that happened was one. He noticed that one of his prize heifers was missing out of the herd. Right. So he had noticed some of his cattle had gone missing, and he was trying to figure out what was going on. But he wasn't attributed it to anything paranormal. He was he didn't know what to attribute it to. Right. So he tracked down. He rode this in the snow. One of his prize heifers was missing out of the herd. Mm-hmm. So he tracked down this shepherd on horseback. Tracking down this heifer and like combing the property. Finally, he finds fresh prints. And so he starts following the tracks, and then he starts noticing they're getting longer, which means that the heifer's galloping. It's running from something.
Right.
There's broken twigs and branches everywhere. And he's following, and finally it comes to this clearing, and they just stop. There's nothing there,
right,
in the snow. You know, you're following it in snow. It's not mud or grass. You know, like it's not an Indian like on the ground looking at broken grass blades. We're talking about snow, and if you've ever been in snow, you can follow animal tracks pretty easily, and you can tell when they're fresh because if they're not fresh, they fill up with fresh powder as it's snowing, or they solidify as it refreezes. So
right.
He's following tracks, and they just stop at this clearing. No blood, nothing. They're just gone. So then later on, he's with his nephew. His nephew had come to help him work the herd, and his nephew had this account. The nephew says that he was moving the herd across this river, and not really a river, more of a stream. Uh-huh. And he noticed one of the heifers was struggling in the water, getting up this bank. But he also noticed that there was a calf stuck up ahead. So he was like, I'm going to go help this calf, and then I'll circle back and try to help this heifer. And so when he circled back to help this heifer, he found the heifer laying unresponsive in the water. Uh-huh. And which he thought was kind of odd because the water wasn't deep enough for her to have drowned in. But the bank was pretty steep. So that was, he thought maybe she had just gotten exhausted. But when he came up to her, he said the back half of her was cut clean, like it was a surgical cut, directly across one plane. And it was like all of her innards had been sucked out.
No blood?
No blood.
Yeah.
So imagine
Wow.
coming across your cow, that the back half of it is gone, and what I equate it to is like it didn't sound like there was cauterization wounds when he described it. So, like imagine taking the sharpest knife you
Lightsaber.
have. Well, no cauterization wounds, but Yeah, I mean, just what I imagine is like a portal opening and closing.
Yeah, exactly. Bam, done.
But no cauterization,
Yeah.
but there was no blood either.
Yeah.
And all the internal organs, everything inside her was sucked out, was gone. It was just a hollow shell of a cow right there.
If you ask me, whatever this entity or whatever it is, just a theory. Maybe this thing can freeze time and just does what it wants to do, and just, I mean, like, because there's incidents where we're speaking like right now, it's multiple, like, where things like this happen within a matter of seconds, a blink of an eye. You're talking about shit disappearing. They're saying there's lumber, like a shitload of lumber, heavy as fuck, one side of the field, and it's in a blink of an eye, it's moved 100 yards away across the field,
time.
like fucking that.
Zach Morris used to do that in Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no shit.
If you bring
Yeah,
up Saved by the Bell
but-
on this podcast one more fucking time.
Yeah, no fucking shit. But I don't know, like, after doing a lot of research and just I don't know, kind of jumping ahead, I wanted to kind of save like theories of like what this thing is, whatever. But I kind of think that it has a possibility of stopping time, and and just I don't know how else to fucking
So I'm gonna get through like what I know, and then you can finish it up.
Yeah.
So like from what I know after that, I mean things got a little weirder. He had to deal with some stuff, but he only owned the ranch for 2 or 3 years.
It was
and
2 years. Yeah.
He
94
sold
to
it.
96.
He sold it in '96. He sold it to
Bob Bigelow.
yeah, there you go, Rob Bigelow.
Bob.
And Bob Bigelow.
Yeah.
And,
Shit.
and
Bob.
Bob Bigelow.
That's true.
He's a real estate
Bam
developer.
Bam Bigelow.
That's how he
Yeah.
made his money. But he was
R.I.P.
also associated with the
hotels in space.
National. What is it? National Institute for
No,
Development of
NIDS.
Science.
National
NIDS.
Institute for Discovery Science.
NIDS.
Yeah.
So NIDS did an 8-year investigation on this ranch. They set up a trailer and they had shifts around the clock with people looking through scopes
Yeah.
and
Hold on,
cameras.
back it up a bit. But basically, Terry Sherman and his family were so desperate to sell, like they thought they had no hope. And luckily, Bob Bigelow was read up on that ranch and Skywalker Ranch of like if it's the phenomenon and these weird occurrences. Yeah. So it took an
Skinwalker
interest to him. Skinwalker Ranch. I'm sorry, Jesus Christ, fucking drunk, and you guys
Skin
put this
peeler.
shit in my yeah, put this shit in my head.
Did he pitch the
So-
idea to them, or did
No, well,
Bob
no,
go
but
up to 'em?
basically, no.
I think
they
they
got.
had it-
That's what I'm saying. They got lucky because they were desperate to sell.
put it up for sale.
and then they got lucky. Bob Bigelow happened to like read about them recently and
Right.
just and took it.
Well, because
he
Terry
made
did
an
a
offer.
Terry did an interview with the local paper.
Yeah.
and he says in later interviews he says
So-
he said he tamed it down for the local paper because he didn't want to come off as crazy.
Yeah.
But even though like there was a lot of things that happened around the town, people equated to it being so close to that ranch.
Yeah.
So what Terry did was he bought another ranch about 25 miles away and moved his herd, but he left his herd
Yeah,
on
he was
that ranch.
He was a manager.
Yeah, he managed
managed
that ranch
Bigelow
for Bob
bought-
Bigelow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. All these things happen around Terry Sherman. So, like, one of the major incidences they talk about is the mutilation of cattle and animals. Like, there was, body parts found cleanly severed. Like,
Yeah,
like
no blood.
no blood. Like, not like no blood around, but like they dissected the thing later, and there was no blood in the fucking
body?
veins
Yeah.
anywhere in these body parts. There was a I saw the pictures of it. There was a cow that was basically splayed out on the ground, just a hollowed out cow.
Yeah.
Like no blood anywhere, no prints leading up to it, nothing.
Yeah.
It was just there.
You can
But
do that
here's-
if you freeze time.
Here's
I'll
the
say that.
here's the fucked up thing that really, when because I was watching a documentary. There's a good documentary called the Hunt for the Skinwalker. I suggest you check it out.
Yes.
That's
what's
a good.
it?
That's a pretty good.
Jerry
Cantrell?
I don't know.
You're
George
gonna say
Knapp.
it.
George
George
Knapp
Knapp
is
did a lot of
really-
reports on it. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
George
based on
Knapp.
his reports.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
from coast to coast.
That's one of the most in depth documentaries of the Skinwalker Ranch. I
Yeah,
wanted to
it's
watch it. I
really
haven't got a chance to watch
good.
It.
It just came out a few months ago, or maybe a couple of months ago. Anyway, the most fucked up thing I've heard, seeing that documentary and in researching it myself, is the fact that when these occurrences happen, the phenomenon, they have the NIDS, they were there for the study and try to understand these anomalies. I'm drunk, I can't even say it right. Excuse me.
Got it.
Two beers, you're not drunk.
Yeah, I hardly ever drink. So the thing that really tripped me out is like, because like I said, you got people there to study and the paranormal activity that's going there. But every time something happens, it's original. It only happens once. It never occurs. It never repeats ever. Every single fucking occurrence is different.
Well, even the
and
wolf.
They can't. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
the wolf. They
That's
saw
the
the
thing.
wolf only for like the first year.
No, I thought the wife saw the wolf.
No, but the thing is, hold on.
The
But see,
wife
that's the
never
thing.
went back out after the
That's the
first
thing,
year
though.
or two. She never was there.
They could, because like it's so hard for them to study this. They could not apply the scientific method because you need, when you study something, you need to see it happen over, trial, over. They couldn't do that because what they would do every time something happened, they would study it and they would prepare. Okay, if this was to happen again, here's what we're gonna do, or try to what they can gain out of it. But nothing ever repeated itself.
Yeah.
Every occurrence was fucking.
One-time deal.
It's its own fucking episode. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so like the
that
theories
just-
the
that
theories
boggled
that
my
I
mind.
read, the theories that I read, like Terry Sherman was convinced that his property was a spot on Earth that was a portal of some kind from another dimension or another planet or another time. That aliens or whoever interdimensional beings could enter into Earth and and leave, and that's what that property was. For whatever reason, that piece of land in Utah was the perfect spot for that, because apparently that is the most researched scientifically researched piece of property as far as paranormal and alien activity goes.
Yeah.
In the entire United States.
Wow.
So, or the
I
entire
thought
world.
actually.
Yeah, I think you're right. The entire world.
Who's the one that saw the? I don't mean to interrupt you, but who's the one that saw the Native American, the Indian, through a portal? Did y'all hear about that?
What?
I didn't hear about that.
Well,
No.
apparently, I want to fact check me, but whatever. It's just
Goddamn right.
they saw a Native American in the woods, and they were thinking that they were seeing them through a portal, and he was calm and everything. And then when they kind of approached it, he kind of seemed a little shocked, and then he vanished off. And that's, I guess, why do they call it Skinwalker Ranch? I thought Skinwalker had to do with something with the Native Americans turning into anomalies.
Shapeshifter. They're
Exactly.
referring to the
Shapeshift.
wolf, basically.
Yeah, the wolf.
But
beings.
but that's the thing, though. If what's causing this, who or what, they're saying that it could be that wolf or whatever form it can take. They speculate that they're being we're being tested.
Right.
It could just be somebody could be trolling from a different dimension.
Right,
It's
trolling.
like it's all
Well, I mean,
seriousness.
or else
I'm
it could
serious,
be
like
another,
Those damn trollers.
But the thing is, hold on, because you talked about too. You mentioned about the bulls.
Yeah.
Remember you talked about the bulls
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
were gone.
yeah.
They speculate whatever this thing is. They're always one step ahead of
exactly.
the investigators.
Exactly.
Every single
Exactly.
fucking thing
and
this
that's
thing
why Terry
is,
thought he was probably being spied on.
or hunted.
Or hunted. There
That's
you
what
go.
They say
Yeah.
is hunted because
I'm out.
It just it has the characteristics of being hunted, and it's fucking scary. It's like whatever the fuck this thing is, or maybe it's multiple
or
things.
they.
They,
that's,
I
that's
don't
what's
know,
even
like-
scarier.
Well, see, in there,
Yeah,
in that
it's
one thing
fucking
where
frightening.
there was a blue orb around a horse, and the horse was just hanging out, chilling, drinking a beer. And then I guess when he got like Terry was approaching it, or someone was
the
approaching.
horse was drinking a beer.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, exactly. When I hang out with horses, we drink beer. But I'm just saying, like when he got
Fuck 'em,
closer,
too, no rubbers.
the orb was going crazy, and then when we got to the horse, the orb left, right? But when we got to the horse, there was deep
Your words.
claws on its leg. Did y'all not hear about that or
No.
anything?
I didn't hear.
Hear that one.
Well, one thing I
was drunk, so whatever.
Yeah.
no.
One thing I wanted to do for this, maybe for other paranormal stuff, like I always like to get the other perspective from somebody who's skeptical. Like I wanted to see skeptics what they had to say
I
about
had something
it.
about the dire wolf.
I didn't get to research that, but a lot of it, just on a documentary I saw yesterday, and then all the reading I'm doing about it, it just
One-sided.
that's not one sided. It's pro for like believing in it.
Well,
Basically,
so here's what gets me. Here's what gets me. the whole thing about the wolf, like if you take like just that, all the other lights and shit like that, I can think could be maybe teenagers fucking with them or whatever. If I could be a skeptic, you could explain that away.
Right.
But here's what gets me: who lives in that area of the world and moves onto a ranch? Now, mind you, these are people that have lived on ranches for a long time. Terry is a long-time rancher.
He's
moves
college
herds.
educated. The guy's not a dummy.
He's not dumb. If you listen to him talk, he's very well spoken. He chooses his words very distinctly.
Yeah.
But they talk about when he talks about this wolf-like creature, and they've seen this. He calls it a wolf-like creature. His wife described it as a wolf. A wolf 2 to 3 times bigger than a normal wolf. And after their first incident with it, she complained to the local authorities because she had seen the wolf before it had approached the family the time that Terry shot at it.
Right.
So she had seen it and went and had complained to the local authorities, and they looked at her like she was retarded. They were like, there hasn't been a wolf here since in 100 years almost.
Right.
That nobody has, and this is before gray wolves were reintroduced into Yellowstone. I mean, we're talking like wolves in this area of the country were extinct.
Right.
So like somebody coming up and saying like, hey, I'm having a wolf problem, and like they're big wolves, like that's like us having an HOA meeting in my neighborhood. And somebody bring up,
Fucking
be like,
HOA loser.
like
They are losers. to be honest with you.
like
I meant Raw, but yeah.
that, it's okay. Like we'll have this out later, but I mean that's like the neighborhood having an HOA meeting and complaining about fucking
Company truck in someone's
grizzly
driveway.
bears,
Yeah, I got you.
Fucking
and
Simpsons.
grizzly bears coming into their fucking trash cans. It's like what? Like that doesn't.
Swiping or picketing a
Well,
bastard.
listen. There's so many theories out there, right? And I can only chalk it up as this. What if this lone wolf, was drinking a beer in Nevada, you're doing some nuclear tests, got hold of radiation, reproduced,
I need you to
bang
look-
some more wolves.
I need you to look at a map and see how far Skinwalker Ranch is from any nuclear testing
Well,
site.
I'm telling you, think about it, man. It's like it can't be more than 12 hours. No, seriously, I just looked it up right now. From Nevada to Utah, it's and I know they're big states.
12-hour drive. You're talking about a walk.
That lives in a wolf that lives its life out in the wilderness that could take 20 years to get over to wherever it needs to go, right? But I'm just trying to say is, what if it had radiation and it reproduced? There's so many different things that can happen, and a wolf. What if these hold on? What if these people have never seen a wolf before, and they're like, and I'm not trying to be skeptical because I want to believe. Trust me, I'm all about Mulder and Scully. I want to believe, but
what about the pictures that they have of this?
But that's
wolf?
kind of,
I never actually saw them. You actually saw pictures?
I actually saw
the
pictures.
See this
But
shit.
see, think about the pictures. Anything can be altered. Really can.
You can
Nah.
Photoshop something in
Yeah, I mean,
1995.
look, Billy Mott. Okay, no, I'm not even going to that. But listen, anything could be altered. Really. What I'm just trying to say is like you always have to think of the other side of the spectrum. And I'm not saying that I don't believe it. I do believe it. But what if the Sherman family never seen a wolf and they see this wolf? Because wolves can actually come up to
This
people.
is a college educated
I understand
man.
that. I understand that.
You're telling me that a college
But what if he never
educated
seen
man had never seen a fucking wolf? They've seen a dog.
Right.
So, like,
Hey, man. Anything's
a
possible.
wolf is twice the size of a dog.
Right.
So if you say this thing is 2 to 3
What if
times
it's
the
juiced
size of
up?
a wolf,
But I understand that. I totally.
that's a big fucking animal.
I'm with you. Even with the hostility in your voice, I am with you. I am totally with you. But I'm just trying to say, like, there's always room for possibility. Not to say that it is, but I'm just saying, what if I've never seen a wolf and I've seen one, like, oh, that's a big fucking dog. Well, that's not a dog. And then, but it's here hanging out, drinking a beer with me.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you've never seen a wolf let's just assume you've never seen a wolf in your entire life.
I never have.
The only thing you've ever seen is a dog, right?
And
the
a
only thing you've
coyote
ever
probably,
seen is
yeah.
a dog and a coyote, because the wife has said that they had coyote problems and wild dog problems.
Right.
And they had coyote, wild dog, and wondered why the wolf had wandered onto their property. So, if you've never seen a wolf in your entire life,
Right.
and all you've ever seen is a coyote and a dog, why would you compare something and say this looks like a wolf but 2 to 3 times as big? That's a big fucking animal.
Well,
if you've never seen a wolf, you know that a wolf is bigger than a dog.
Right.
Like, if you've never seen a wolf, you would assume that a wolf looks like, I don't know, a Malamute or a Husky or a German Shepherd.
Right.
But bigger. So now you're saying that this creature that you saw is 2 or 3 times bigger than that.
I get you, and I'm with you.
Even if you've never seen a wolf, that's saying like I saw a German Shepherd that was 4 times as big as a German Shepherd. That's a German Shepherd the size of a Volkswagen. That's a big fucking animal.
No, I understand that. I understand that, but you can't discredit the fact that maybe what if the statement that they gave was under pressure, and then like they meant to say of a dog or a wolf. I mean, the thing is that
okay, let's say that it was let's say. Okay, let's say they over-exaggerated. That thing wasn't that big. Let's say that it was 2 times the size of a wolf.
Right.
That's still a big fucking
No, it's
creature.
still big and huge. But
that's from
there's
ground
always
to
room.
shoulder. From ground to shoulder, that's still like
what she said was the size.
4.5 feet tall.
What she said was the size of a car, and I get it. Okay, I understand. But
Small car.
Okay, small car. You cannot discredit the possibility that anything's possible.
I don't.
Okay, and what if that wolf was contaminated in some sort, and it was juiced up, and it was juiced up. I mean, I'm just saying anything's possible.
Fucking thing's flexing. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
You think it's flexing its cock walking on
I mean,
top?
Utah's not that
Really?
Utah's not that far from Nevada, and if
It
it got
is that far. Look at a map.
I have.
Okay,
actually.
besides that, but
I'm just saying, like anything's possible. What if there's do a lot of nuclear testing over there? What if it got caught into some radiation or something, and its offspring was?
yeah,
crazy.
that's-
I think
anything's possible.
I think that
I want to
theory-
believe it's extraterrestrial. Trust me, man.
Yeah.
And if I go party
I
with some
think-
ETs tonight, I'm down.
Okay, here's what you're missing. You're assuming that wolves live in the desert.
Exactly. That's a good point too. But
There's nothing.
anything's
no.
possible. But anacondas don't live in Florida, but
No.
they're in the Everglades right now because
No,
people
anacondas are not in
because
the
people
Everglades.
they are
Ball
'cause people-
pythons are in the fucking
No,
Everglades.
anacondas too because they buy them from these conventions and they throw them. They get too big and they throw them in the Everglades. It's a fact, man.
why can't they just throw them like in lousy?
Or why can't they burn them? I don't know.
Burn them too. Yeah, you're right.
The fact of the matter
That's
is
a lot
is that-
easier, you're right.
The fact of the matter is a wolf.
Right.
A wolf would need
Listen.
a pack to survive.
When Paul says something about, I want to hear the other side of the spectrum. I actually listen to the other side of the spectrum, and people are saying, with these mutilated cows and this and that, they go and
Yeah, what did they explain about that? What
When
did
they
they
say,
say?
well, this is the first time I'm hearing about how it is like a lightsaber, striking them and there's like no blood. Okay, right?
Yeah.
But their
but
side
no
was,
cauterization.
Okay,
would
but
be.
Yeah,
their
'cause
side,
that's
their
too
side
big
is
heat.
this. This is what they're saying. They're saying like raccoons, possum, and all that. They're fucking like leechers, right? So they go for the softest tissue. The softest tissue goes up the ass,
Yeah.
and they start chewing at that and all in that, and they get it all up in there and gut out the whole thing
in
over
less
time.
than 15
But-
minutes.
Yeah, I was
listen,
gonna
man.
say,
No,
yeah,
I
yeah.
understand that, but that's their side. And Paul said, I want to hear their side.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you what I
Okay,
heard when I was
yeah.
researching it. And this
Right.
is what I heard as well
There's-
on the other side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
It's how Nevada's right there, and wolves. Who interacts with wolves?
Yeah.
No one really does. And when they do, they are friendly to people unless they're threatened. And once they're threatened, they'll attack.
I want you to look at a map.
Not me.
I
The
want
spectators,
Yeah.
man.
whoever
Yeah.
is skeptical.
Yeah.
If you want to take that road, look at where a map of all the nuclear testing is done to where this is. Let me
Right.
finish.
No,
You're
no,
taking
I understand. I
You're
get you.
taking a breath.
No,
Oh.
no, because you're making an assumption that they cannot travel when great
No,
great
that's
sharks
not what I'm saying.
can
You're
go-
not letting me finish.
Go ahead.
What you need to look at what a wolf that size would eat. That's where you need to focus.
Okay.
What would a wolf that size eat? Number one, it would not eat anything that is alive in a desert because things in a desert that are alive are small.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
That's animals grow to the size of their food source and their environment.
Right.
Okay? So, a great white shark grows big when it has a lot of food and a lot of room to move around.
Okay.
Okay? When humans do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like when you don't have a lot of room to move around, not a lot of food to eat, you get Paul. You know what I mean? Like
What?
Okay. Fair enough.
So there's no reason your argument of nuclear testing and fucking Nevada in the desert is not. It makes zero sense. It would not spread and leach far enough north to reach Utah to the point where a wolf that a population of wolves that have been extinct in that area since 1912, which is 50 years almost before the first nuclear testing was done in Nevada, 100 miles away.
Right.
I'm
Well,
sorry,
no.
but a wolf is not just going to be like, hey, I'm going to go check out the desert and see what that's all about,
I was just
and get hit by a nuclear bomb and just walk away.
Absolutely.
This is not fucking Indiana Jones 4 or whatever, 5 or whatever. Where
Rob thinks you represent the skeptical side.
That's how I feel. All right, but
yeah.
no.
But who's
But he's somebody here. He's playing the devil's advocate, and he's playing the role.
Devil to be skeptical. It's fucked
Well,
up,
I will
Rob.
take
You don't
another
know what a devil's
domefo.
advocate
Hey, if I could get a word in,
Yes, I do very much.
I'll take a domefo if you don't mind, sir.
I'll
But
give
no.
you something to your dome.
What I'm trying to say is this, I mean, they're big. I mean, what if they're big because they're muscular, right? And I mean, we don't know why they're big. Okay, you're assuming it's because of their they're eating and everything, right? But what if they're big because they're muscular and listen, anything's possible.
Well, you're saying it's like maybe this is a genetic anomaly, like of a wolf that big. Okay,
but
you're still. How do you maintain simple biology? How do you maintain and grow muscle mass?
It's not even that.
I mean,
but like,
you may not be able to figure that out, but I'll tell you.
This is just based on the
No.
assumption.
Now you're attacking me. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like, dude. I mean, honestly. I mean,
This argument is based on
cougars over there. There's mountain rams.
There's not.
There's rams. Are you telling me there's no mountain
sheep.
rams?
The mountain rams. You said cougars. There's no cougars.
There's no mountain
up
lions
there.
there.
No milk.
No,
so.
there's
No?
not.
Okay, well, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. But I mean, you tell me there's nothing bigger than a fucking snake is what you're trying to tell me.
No, that's not what I'm trying to tell you. What I'm trying to tell you is that there's not a fucking wolf the size of a fucking Volkswagen. There's not a food source
But
there
that's coming
able
from
to
someone.
sustain it.
That's coming from someone that claims that they saw it. You're disregarding the fact that anything's possible. You're just kind of seeing it one sided. You got to see both sides. That's all I'm trying to say.
I don't have to do shit.
Well,
No,
no,
you really
but
don't
hold
have
on.
to. You're
But
right.
this is on a basis just this wolf exists.
Right.
Not that the fact that it's trolling. Also, too, I didn't mention this, but like people like that experience like these weird phenomena too. Like when they go run that ranch, they hear thoughts or hear voices in their head.
Yeah, that's true. No, you're right about
as
that.
well.
I didn't
That's
read about
fucked
that.
up. Yes, this is fucked up. Like they can hear. It's almost like you can hear it, but it's indistinguishable. It's like kind of low, but it's fucking there. You can hear it, and it's fucking crazy.
I heard about
I
that.
mean, these are the many things like they.
We should do a gentleman no class road trip. To
Yeah,
the fucking
I don't
Skinwalker
know, man. They
Mountain
say,
lions
hey,
are found
no,
in all major mountain ranges in
Navajo.
Nevada and Utah. So
Fuck
eat a dick.
mountain lions.
I'm just saying.
Have you
Navajo.
seen
Hey,
have you ever seen a mountain lion there?
I'm going. I've never been there.
hey, not
There you go.
not even some Navajo Indians are even
I love it.
scared.
I love
to-
proving Rob
when,
wrong.
when you bring up Skinwalker to them, they're really frightened to talk about it. Even uttering the phrase
Yeah, sure.
is. Yeah, they don't even do that. They don't even want to do that because it's that frightening them, and they're just in their heritage.
I believe the Sherman family were
That's
talking
fucking
about how
crazy.
they heard like a million voices.
Yeah,
in their
also,
head.
You know what?
And-
Also, too, like they would at night they would hear machinery underneath them. They can feel it. They can hear like if something like mechanical stuff was going. It's fucking weird. That was another thing too. They would hear and feel the vibrations. At least if underneath or if not, like not too far from the distance from them, they can hear. If there was like construction going on, or something like with mechanical, just you can hear the hydraulics or whatever, just anything that sounds mechanical, like there's something was constructing underneath them, and it's just fucking weird. These episodes, like it just there's so much variety of odd occurrences that this is the weirdest fucking thing I've ever heard of, and I'm like,
Who bought that property after the Shermans? What was his name?
It was
again?
Bob Bigelow.
Bob Bigelow. Okay,
But
that's right.
as of 2016,
I know,
he
right.
sold it to somebody else, an anonymous person who wants to remain anonymous. I don't blame him. And they interviewed him in
They interviewed an anonymous person.
yes, but he's he's
Voice
voice
mask.
Hide the
modulation,
face.
and he's
Yeah.
hide his face. And he just straight up says like I don't want to reveal my name. And well, I was like, he
Got to reveal something, guys.
He doesn't want any attraction, any distractions or anything for the media or anybody coming up to him from his work. They're here to work, and that's it. They just want to continue the studies and try to understand these weird phenomena.
He's saying that Bob Bigelow sold it. Whoever he sold it to,
yes,
he sold it to somebody that's continuing research in the paranormal. On
that was the deal. Basically, that was the deal.
Because he found out that wolf wasn't real, motherfucker.
They felt ripped off.
No, but Bob Bigelow, what I was trying to get at is that
Bam Bigelow.
Yeah, no, but wasn't he trying to develop like hotels in space? Did y'all hear about
said that? I've heard
about that.
That's another topic. We're getting off topic.
No, because I was trying to get that the reason why is that he bought that property was to like do some testing himself, like space testing. Thought that maybe you heard that, but I guess not. Never mind.
I didn't hear that. I think that's about all the time we've got left, or we've gotten for tonight on the Skinwalker Ranch topic.
No, sir. We're getting started.
No, this is it, bro. This is where we're at.
Yeah,
guys, you like this?
I think we should bring. We may the next podcast we have. We may bring. Hopefully, we've talked about this before. We may bring our buddy Randy on here, who's very, very.
He will tell you that there's mountain lions in Nevada as well. I'm telling you.
You want to talk about a college-educated motherfucker? That guy's got more college education than all of us sitting at this table. But
I can't wait to meet that guy.
that don't mean shit.
you've met him.
Yeah,
I know.
means shit, Rob.
Oh, that don't mean shit. Raph, let's hear what you have. Like, you interjected a lot into this conversation about the Skinwalker Ranch.
That was me talking, motherfucker, not Rob.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't say
Sarcasm.
much. I didn't say much. It's because I pretty much watched the same documentary he saw. So
Raph's I watched the same video he watched on YouTube. So I mean, Paul.
What am I? An extension of you? Don't fucking use me. I'm not your fucking condom.
Hey. Okay.
You will be later.
Dropping loads. But anyway, the wolf story was the only thing that really fucking frightened the shit out of me. Everything
that's
else,
what got me too.
I didn't really like
lights in the trees and shit like that. I feel like can be explained away. The portal thing got me too. Like but I think maybe we could revisit this at another point in time. This is a good topic to kind of debate and talk about all these kind of weird
like
things.
leeches.
This is the like so the Skinwalker Ranch is like the biggest hotbed of paranormal activity in the United States today.
Probably
it's the most scientifically.
Man. I think the world.
It's the most scientifically studied for sure because NIDS did 8 years worth of research on that property. So maybe we'll revisit this at another time. But for now, for this week's episode. This has been Gentlemen No Class.
I fucking hate you. My mom told me that today.
Oh, nice. Dang. You have a lot of dialogue thrown your way, man.
Yeah. Well, it's life.
Until next time, guys, I'm Jake.
Raph.
I've been fucking Paul.
I've been fucking Pauled also. But I'm Rob. You can support us by liking our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, find us and follow us on Twitter and Instagram under the handle @GentlemenNoClass. Also, check out our website, gentlemannoclass.com, for all your latest Gentlemen No Class news.